Hi, my name is Valeria, and this is my Tableau project for the Financial Policies and Strategies class with Professor Tandon. And this is section 901. Okay, so we are going to start here on the first tab. In this data set, we have the real GDP percentage. The real GDP percentage. We also have included the unemployment rate, as you can see here, in percentages from the FRED unemployment rate sheet. We can see here that we are examining these two variables by the quarter so that we can see the trend among these two factors. Then moving on to the second tab, in this sheet we have the real GDP, and then we have the unemployment rate, which are the averages. It's not the sum, it's the averages. We have to change that, and they both follow the similar trend in that they fluctuate. And then at the time of 2020, as you can see over here, the gap among these two was highest because of the pandemic, clearly, and therefore this insight is essential to understand how they relate graphically. You can see the graph over here, which we mixed together. So as you can see, here is the graph of the unemployment rate and the GDP. We mixed both of them together so that we could see both differences in only one graph. Then moving on to the data mortgage rate versus housing. In this sheet we have the data mortgage rate and then the housing data. And this was done by examining it by the quarter, as same as the other tab. And therefore it allowed a lot of ease in this sense to better understand them, and therefore the normalized rate for housing has been seen to be 0. In this regard, as a result of doing so in this matter, the trends hence show that the normalized rate tend to fluctuate a lot by quarters. How can we see that? Here, if we go, we had to change all of the measure values to an average because it was a sum in the first place, but we changed them to an average. And then here you can see that every section is measured by quarter, not by a complete year or like by half a year. It's by each quarter, and you can see the differences here. Then we can move on to the next tab, and here we see that the average normalized mortgage rate has been declining a lot from 2021, as you can see over here, reaching about its lowest level to around 0.15. Oh my god, to around 0.15, which was the lowest. Then you can check how it was fluctuating over the years. You can see both datas. However, you can see the change over the years as it keeps going up. We can see a big difference in the year 2021 specifically. We can see the green line going up and the yellow one going down, which has a lot of sense because the pandemic was right after that year. It started 2020 and then it kept going for about 2 years. But yeah, it's interesting to see what happens during the years, and Tableau is like a great application tool that anyone can use to find differences in the graphics. Then we can move on to the last step, and then this is just like basically a dashboard which summarizes all the data that we've been going on. And the dashboard has 3 sheets together, such as the focus applicable to sheet 1, and then the line graph, then the scatter plot, and then we see that the major focus is based on profitability, as it creates like an impact on the operations of the company. But yeah, this is basically what we've been doing with Tableau. It has been a great experience. It has been very challenging. I had used Tableau several times before, but I believe this was like this has been like my most complete project so far. So I can say that I learned a lot from it, and I'm really happy with what I'm taking home with me, and for the future. Thank you so much for listening to my project.